We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Recorded to you live from a field of roses at the base of the Dark Tower. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, rocking on in. Don't rock out, rock in, right? I mean...
Hello, Cleveland.
It's all in, baby.
All right. Welcome to the Wicked Theory Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Bill Sweeney. Every week I get together with a couple of friends and sometimes a little bit of family.
And occasionally a stranger.
Sometimes the family is the stranger. So
The stranger
this week,
the family, the better.
all right, just keep on talking. Anyway, so this week, no Dominic. I usually would introduce him first, but he's just not here. But I got my buddy Ed.
Hey.
And the guy I'm fighting with already, that's my brother Bob, which makes complete
Hello.
sense because that's how family works, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That's right, that's right. And, well, yeah, we're here. We're back. It's episode 63. We're going to do some news. We're going to do some emails. We're going to talk some nerdy stuff because that's the thing. That's like the biz. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
We've got to do some news and drink some brews, right?
Well, no. I don't remember anything about brews.
I'm out of here.
But we could do... I don't like
I'm
this
out
play.
here.
This show sucks. Bollocks it is.
No way else, I'm out.
We've already entertained 3 people. I hear that us doing accents or trying to do accents has turned into a thing that makes a couple people giggle. So
Really?
I think we're going to end up burning it into the ground now that I know that. But I'm going to also at the same time try not to. But so there's that. I think Brian Hughes gets a big kick out of it. And
well, as long as it's the foreigner, that makes me feel better.
right. And Steph sent up a post on a tweet and said that, yeah, you guys might have to figure out a way to make this a regular thing somehow where you guys just do accents for some reason.
You know what? I think if we just sit back, it's going to happen organically anyway.
Oh,
that was my
yeah.
thinking. That
Maybe
was my
we
thinking.
Maybe we should try and work it out so that it becomes like a drinking game for listeners.
That's what they should do.
Yeah.
They should,
Every
they
time
should,
you hear one of us with an accent, they got to drink a beer.
I think the variable will be
I've
either the people or the accent. So
I mean-
it's like, oh, when you hear Bob do a voice, an accent, you do this. You know?
Oh, like you do a shot of Jaeger.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you hear a Scottish accent or an attempt at one, then you drink this, like that kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been involved with podcasts and drinking games before, so you got to be very careful with this. But
Yeah.
you know, we can explore the possibility. Of course.
I say the game should just be if you can hear us start drinking. Because it's the only thing that's gonna. It's what you need to get through the show.
just make sure you're not driving.
No, I don't. That's why I drink.
Sounds like we got to stop the show and go get some Henry's hard sodas.
There might be something in the fridge.
The ginger ales are still there.
Well, they're gonna be
like
there.
a month ago.
They're gonna be there for a long time.
Yeah, they're gonna grow roots and start growing ginger bushes.
Yeah.
Not sure if all this ginger ale can. That's why it's just somebody else's dad's responsible for that. Thank
Yeah.
God it's not my dad. The root beer is great, but again,
The root beer, all the other ones are really good.
yeah,
Just
it's just
stay away from the ginger.
It's literally tastes like they put a gingerbread cookie
Yeah,
in there.
it's like a root. Tastes like a root.
Got a little buzzing going on the wires. Wouldn't be a podcast without a little weird noise going on. But it might be because I rearranged things this week. And
experiencing
things are just
operating
all-
difficulties
Things
here.
are just all kerflurful and kerflooey.
Kerfluffle and
letting people behind the curtain.
You know, it's all shambles. Is what it comes down to. It's all a facade, really.
don't look behind the curtain.
Well, we do a couple things here. One of the things that we do is we do a section called Meanwhile, which is basically.
Meanwhile,
I'm like, is that it? Thank you, Bob.
That's where we were.
We were in the meanwhile. So basically, it's a section where we just kind of say, hey, here's some stuff we might have heard, seen, read, watched, whatever. It's pop culture, geek, whatever. But we digested it in the last week. It's not quite a review, but it might be a recommendation.
Yeah.
So, Ed, I think you've got something in the notes there for Mr.Robot?
I've got 2 quick things. The first thing is Mr.Robot.
Okay.
Which their season premiere dropped last Wednesday. And season 2, and I cannot talk about it because you guys haven't seen it.
And you wouldn't want to ruin it for anybody.
No,
really,
no.
right?
This is the show where I can't tell you anything.
Right.
Because it is so intricate.
Right.
And so delicate.
Right.
That
like a baby.
Yes, like this is fun fact.
Fun.
I tweeted right before the episode started
Right.
that no one should bother me for the next 90 minutes.
Right.
And the real verified Mr. Robot account
Whoa.
texted back, "You're right. Unplug, detach."
Nice.
So
Nice. They were like, they agreed. They think I'm a good soldier.
yeah. So the thing is, it's back. It's incredible.
Right.
It is the best show on TV right now.
Right.
If you haven't seen it, go catch up. Go
Right.
catch up right now.
It's the best thing. I don't know, ever, or just the best thing that's on right now that you've been watching.
The best active ongoing TV series right now.
All right, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue with that. I have seen the pilot, and it was one of those shows where I totally intended to stay on top of it and ride that out and check that out, and I've missed every episode since and had nothing but regret that I've missed all that since then.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing you really got to pay attention to because the twists and the mind benders and the perspectives change, and it's...
That's what I heard. It hurts a lot. It's twisty.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a French crawler.
Yes. But the thing I can talk about that I saw last night
Okay.
at Bill's request...
Right. Well,
I had...
was it really?
Well,
It was my deferment.
We met during the week on another project, and I mentioned that last night I was going to go to the movies,
Right.
and I could either see Ghostbusters or The Infiltrator.
Okay.
And when one person in the room suggested that I had to see Ghostbusters because that was the big movie, Bill pointed out that no, you're going
not between those two movies.
no. So I went to see Infiltrator,
Right.
with Bryan Cranston and John Leguizamo, who is incredible in this movie.
Right.
This has nothing to do with the failed CBS TV show that Bill and I saw when we were
Oh my
kids,
God!
right?
No.
Right. The Scott
That
Bakula.
summer plot.
The Scott
No,
Bakula
no.
pilot. Look that up.
Right, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Right.
No, this is based on a true story about a guy named Bob Mazer, who is a U.S. Customs agent who went undercover to infiltrate the Colombian drug cartels, and very fun, very intense. The amazing, like, this is a real throwback of a movie.
Right.
It feels like it was made in the mid '80s.
Right. Sure.
Right.
Well,
You know,
that's
Right.
what I kind of took from
It's
the
kind of
trailer.
like Argo did, where it tried to look and feel like the period
Yeah.
it was portraying.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is an example. Like you hear
This
critics and people say, they don't make these kinds of movies anymore. They don't make real
Right,
dramas that are made for adults
Right,
anymore.
right.
And to them, I would say, no, they do. It's called The
It's
Infiltrator.
right there.
Yeah,
It's waiting for you.
this is they may be few and far between, but there's one out right now that you can go see.
right. Now this is about Pablo Escobar, right?
Pablo Escobar is like the main guy that they're going after in this movie, but it's
Right. So it's based on a true story.
Yes, and really fun, great performances. The characters
Right.
in this are great. Cranston's good, but Leguizamo, man, just
He
that
steals it.
that energy that guy always has.
Right, right.
Even bad movies, I love Luigi Mario.
Well, there's
mov-
you. There's
that
just
mo-
one of you.
Yeah.
That movie's dog shit, but I still think he's great in it.
Well, that's he's always been stealing the scenes from in anything he's in. The fact that he doesn't work more often, like, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's because he's been raised.
Because
I
I think it's because he started out as a comic.
Yeah.
A lot of comics you get to know the human emotion
Yeah.
and how to portray it in humor,
Right.
which
Oh,
is
yeah.
which is considered to be the hardest. So
Right.
so when you can do that, you can kind of fall back on your natural groundwork and portray other emotions equally well.
That's absolutely, that's absolutely what they say.
Yeah, and he's had some great one-man shows on Broadway.
Yeah.
And
He's an excellent writer too.
Yes, and he's great in this, and the movie's really good. I enjoyed it. It drags a little bit at a certain point. It feels
Okay.
like every 15 minutes it gets really intense, and someone you weren't expecting to gets killed.
Okay.
And at a certain point, it's like, okay, I get it. It's
everybody's-
dangerous.
Yeah, everyone's expendable.
But overall, the look, the feel, I give this 3.5 American tacos.
3.5. That's,
Nice. Well done.
That's your average. That's usually that's right about where you fall for your movies lately. What else did you have? You had something else in the newts. You had you said you had two things.
Yeah, Mr. Robot and Infiltrator.
Oh, okay, that's it. That
Right.
counts. See, I don't count. I don't think
Yeah.
that's technically math.
Yeah.
So 3.5 would mean excellent, not exceptional.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. So, for me, and Ed kind of mentioned it a little bit, that there was another project we were working on this week, so I just want to kind of tease it a little bit for people maybe who don't know. But Podtoberfest has started. The behind-the-scenes workings and planning stages have officially kicked off. This is the 7 Days of Geek podcast extravaganza that started last year, a 24-hour episode. I was part of that, helped out with that project and process. And I hung out with them for 24 hours live on mic. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
That was quite the experience. And so we're doing it again this year. It's going to be in October, first weekend of October. So just kind of throwing it out there to kind of like, hey, that's a thing to keep your eyes on down the line. And Ed's helping out in the writers' room this year.
Yes, I have been asked in the writers' room, although I've been asked not to go to Michigan with you.
We were told specifically you were not allowed in the state. There's signs posted at every crossing of the state border.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not bitter.
No, I mean, dude, not bitter at all, but sad, I think, is the thing. I think bitter and deep down dark sadness are different. You know.
And I'm looking forward. I'm hoping that after this year, when they see what I contribute, that maybe I can earn the right to go the next time.
It's a process. It's kind of a process. You know, you got to work your way up the ladder. You know, just like any other field.
Yeah, Bill had to kiss ass for a while to get to be invited.
You don't want to know what I had to do.
Yeah.
You think that box of stuff that he sent after I got back was just because I'm a nice guy?
Yeah. And the things that I've...
No, it's because you played the kids and the kids fell in love with you.
Well, that's really what it comes down to.
Well,
the kids like you. They insist on us sending you something.
The things that I've done to and said to Grant Markham, I'm actually surprised that I was given this privilege.
There is that, too.
So
there is amount of that. And the fact that you're going to be helping out. You're going to be on mic. You're going to end up calling in and helping out with some stuff. And as long as it all goes right with the scheduling of us putting all this stuff together, that you'll help out. Right. You'll be on a little bit.
In a similar fashion to the way some of the writers on Saturday Night Live tend to work their way onto the shows occasionally.
Yeah. Sure.
So
does it feel like Bob's mic comes through a lot louder than everybody else's?
I don't know. I hear everybody about equally. So.
A little bit. I mean, I feel like he's a little closer to his mic.
Does it feel like my mic that I'm muted down?
Maybe I just project better than you guys do.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to the root.
Yeah.
Maybe I have the voice of God. No,
if you did, I would never have moved in with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's always. I'm not the guy to ask because
you can't tell.
I can usually with those kinds of questions I can usually only tell on playback.
Right. See, I'm always trying to figure it out if it's because Bobby has more of a bassy read to his voice a little bit,
maybe,
and it's my register and then it's like everybody else's register. I'm trying to figure out if I need to tune everybody else down a little bit and then jack myself up, or if that's a ridiculous question. All right. So that was Podtoberfest. That was my little rundown on Podtoberfest, and then what else I have? Oh, comics. I don't know if anybody else out there is reading the Walking Dead comic, but woof, this week, great stuff. But a new book, Throwaways. I really dug it. It was new this week. Caitlin Kittredge, I think, is the name on the writer. I forget the artist's name. The artwork's a little rough on the edges. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't have sometimes there's a little rough spots, but really good. I like the hook. I like the setup, and I feel like it's gonna probably. I can see that there's obviously a bigger plan in play, and it's a little bit of the spin on the old. CIA op kind of program where they obviously mess with some soldiers' heads and stuff like that, but it's kind of like after it's happened and, little shades of Akira a little bit where it's some mental power stuff. But anyway, I dug it. It felt a little homegrown-y because of the artwork, but I like that. I was digging it. So if people are looking for a new book, maybe check that out.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It's an image book.
You picked it up?
Yeah.
Well, you did.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think you picked up anything besides DC.
No, I pick up most number ones from significant comic publishers.
Fair enough.
So Boom, Dynamite, Image, IDW, all those guys.
Oh, I like your move. That's my move.
Pick up the number ones, and if I like them, I pick up the trade.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Look at a little sample.
And to be fair, most of them I don't like.
No, well, it's hard, bro. It's like TV. There's a lot of stuff that comes out, and it's like it can't all be great. So. But you try and cling on to what shakes out. You know what I mean? I think what we're going to do next is we're going to go into some news. Yeah. Who doesn't like news? You know why? You know why I like it? Because it's always new.
Oh yeah.
It's information like that gets delivered newly. You know?
Did you know that news is an acronym for North, East, West, and South?
I know it's also an acronym for not everybody wants some. Or not everyone was.
Not everyone wants to hear this shit.
Yeah, I trying to figure out something.
We got some superhero TV news this
Bob's
week.
going to give us a jingle first, Ed.
Oh,
Relax.
sorry.
I distracted him.
Okay. Ready? Take 27?
Sure. I like that one. Let's stick with that. Yeah, there you go. Woo, 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 woo.
All right, so CW has released their first images of Kid Flash, the Flash TV show. Keenan Lonsdale.
Wow, that was punchy.
It's the classic red and gold costume.
Yeah, that's the Kid Flash costume from way back when.
What do we think?
I was mixed on it. Like, I don't know if it's because it's the way it sits on him, or I don't know. I like the idea that they're trying to go for. I don't know if I feel like it's working. It's got some weird spots when I look at it.
I think it works okay,
Yeah.
personally, but I think they shouldn't have showed it this soon. I understand why they did it, because it's going to bring up a lot of buzz.
Yeah.
Because The Flash is naturally a show where basically anything can happen, and it just fuels the possibilities in everyone's conversations.
Yeah.
So this is just fuel for that.
I think so.
I think they also wanted, because there were some set photos that leaked this week too, and they wanted to get.
Oh, is that what mine
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Because I did see the Black Flash.
Yeah, they don't know who that they haven't announced who that character
who that
is.
actor is, or the character that's in that suit. But basically, it looks like Bat Flash.
Yeah.
Because it's a black suit.
Bat
and
Flash,
and
yeah.
he's got like these lightning bolts on his ears that are bigger than the other guys.
Okay.
And they kind of looks like
Little
bat
little wings on his shoes.
They look like bat wings almost, like on his sides of his head. So it was like, what the?
Come on, little Mercury wings on his shoes.
Well, they got those going on. I think.
Bat shoes.
Yeah, someone's. I don't know why you're mixing up regular Mercury wings with bat wings.
Well, I'm just thinking that, because Mercury had wings on his shoes. If this guy looks like Bat Flash,
Then he'll have bat wings.
then he'll have, then the wings are going to look to people more like, they're going to assume that they're more like bat wings.
Fair enough. Yeah. So what else you got in there, Eddie?
All right. I got good news or bad news. Which one you want to hear first?
Well, didn't we just kind of have bat news anyway? No. I'm sorry. Oh, you said bad news.
Bad news. Yeah.
Okay, I guess stick with the bad news then.
Okay. The bad news is those of you who are looking forward to a Hellfire Club TV show at Fox, that project is officially dead.
Oh.
Okay, I think that's probably a good thing.
The good news is that
It's all subjective.
Fox is developing an X-Men centric TV show.
Right.
But it's I will read the exact description here. The Untitled Fox Marvel project will focus on two ordinary parents who discover their children possess mutant powers. Forced to go on the run from a hostile government, the family joins up with an underground network of mutants and must fight to survive. The series will be produced by 20th Century Fox Television and Marvel Television, with 20th Century Fox handling physical production.
Marvel's involved, so...
Well, that's just because Marvel has, by
Yeah.
legal rights, their name is stamped on it, even if they're not directly involved in it. But it's one of these things where they're going to now, instead of making something, they're going to just create something whole cloth and just make it this just generic kind of, here's a character that has no pre-established background.
Yeah, it's an on the run movie. It's on the run TV show.
That's great. We've done that too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just to me, it's like.
It just happens to have an X-Men background to it.
But
So basically, we're going to get Preacher with X-Men?
you're gonna get a mutant. You're not even gonna get X-Men. You're gonna get a mutant show.
Yeah.
A show about being a mutant on the run. And it's just like
remember, it's it's two parents and their kids, so it's like
awesome.
so it's a family
so they're going to
show.
be like being chased by Sentinels for however many seasons it lasts.
Yeah.
So imagine like Family Ties meets Preacher meets X-Men.
Wow.
Is that-
I think Carlitos says it best.
Dumb move, man. Dumb move.
Just a dumb move.
All right, on to the comics. Boom Studios.
Right.
I'm picking up this number one. They've announced a crossover between two legendary John Carpenter properties
Oh
that
my
starred
gosh.
Kurt Russell.
Oh.
We're getting a Big Trouble in Little China meets Escape from New York.
So we're gonna get. Is it like Big Trouble in New York, basically?
No, it's called Big Trouble in Little
Big
China.
Trouble in Little New York.
Big
Escape,
Trouble. It's
Escape
called
from Big Trouble.
No, it's very unoriginal. It's called Big Trouble in Little China: Escape from New York, number 1 of 6.
Slash. There's no slash in between
No.
them.
I'm
At
gonna
least not on the cover.
with a title like that. I think I'm gonna predict it doesn't get through past
They
3.
should just make it like Snake Plissken versus or meets what's
Yeah.
it? Bolton, Jack, whatever his name is.
Jack Burton.
Burton.
Jack Burton and Snake. Kurt Russell gets to meet Kurt Russell. That's what I'm excited about.
That's. But are we really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That just seems kind of like
They're two very different properties.
two very different properties, but I just feel like it's kind of like a silly idea to do it just because like.
I think it's like they have both, and they both have individual comics that have been doing well recently. So just figure why not just jumble them together?
I almost want to say it's like, well, I guess if you have a decent story, but can't you just? Isn't it also true that you could just probably make a decent story about any dumb idea?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
but
it's like,
it's starting to feel to me. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, it's
Like an idea from the 70s.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
This is the kind of way they would have gone about it in the 70s. Just kind of mash them together. Don't worry about it.
and don't get me wrong, like
See if
it happens a lot with these comic book like property mashups or team ups. It's like it is just for the sake of putting these two things together and see if we get a halfway decent story out of it. But it just feels like with this, because they're both the same actor, like the reason to do it is more like tongue in cheek, campy, like. What good could come out of this? Like,
Well,
is it going to be a
Yeah.
joke where, hey,
Yeah.
you look a lot like
it's-
me?
it's-
Well, it's
the bank. It's the bank notes.
Well, I know that.
yeah. It's
know?
also in comics. And comics do this all the time. They
Yeah, I
do
know,
He-Man meets the DC universe. They do, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meet the Ghostbusters.
I want to
to
see Batman fuck up Orko, but that's like a whole different story. Let's not even get into that. All right, what do we got?
So yeah, that's coming in October for those of you who are waiting. And another comic book. Now here we're getting a comic book sequel
Oh,
to the movie, to a property no one ever wanted to hear from again,
sure.
which is Plan 9 from Outer Space.
The Ed Wood classic?
Ed Wood's epic sci-fi disaster.
So epic they started at Plan 9 rather than 1 through 8.
Yes, it is
Right.
it is legendarily the worst movie
Ever
Right.
made.
ever made.
Yes.
Ever made.
Yes, and it's wonderful and it's horror.
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
absolutely. For that alone, it's
Yes.
brilliant.
It's
in
like
that
the only
way.
thing they could have done to make it any worse would be to reanimate Bela Lugosi from the dead. You know.
The only thing they could have done worse was probably just burn it. Like that's like the only other move.
Yeah.
I can make a movie.
So what do we know about this comic then that's coming?
It's called Plan 10 from Outer Space.
Is it going to be atrocious on purpose too? Because that's what they should really do.
Yeah,
They should break a fourth wall and have like panels that are like and drawings that are like unfinished, and like word bubbles kind of like they look like they're scratched away or like they fade out. Like you
Right.
can't really
Yeah.
read it all. Things aren't aligned properly. Like it should be like
like
that.
the ink is washed off the page.
Yeah, that exactly that kind of stuff.
Yeah, now it's being planned by writers James Masha and Michael Dolce. I don't recognize those names.
Masha, I think, sounds familiar to me for some
Yeah,
reason.
and the artists on it are Cyrus Jr., Sue Sherpa, and Tony Moy. You gotta love those artists with one name.
Gotta love it. Yeah, none of those names are really running familiar. to me.
Yeah, it's coming out. It doesn't say who the publisher is, but it's coming out in February.
Well, that might be saying something then.
I just had a thought. Since
Be
in
careful.
real life,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Oh,
And-
this is. It aims to reimagine the original for the present day, because that's what we needed: a modern retelling.
Yeah.
of that story.
Okay.
So-
yeah, I'm not buying it.
Right. Well, since in real life, Planet 9 has actually been declassified as a planet, does that mean?
okay.
Does that mean now that maybe Planet 10 doesn't really exist?
Well, it's not Planet 9; it's Plan 9.
Plan 9.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Strategy, like, you know.
Right.
All right. So then, all right. So there's a thing to avoid at the comic shop is basically. No, I mean I'm gonna definitely have it in my stack because like just like you, they throw the number ones in there. I'm gonna thumb through it. But if it's really not doing something like that, like I was saying, where they plan having fun with the actual format, or maybe a little bit, because now I want that.
If they're gonna take it seriously, maybe that's not gonna work.
You know, I'll have to skim it a little bit, take a little pre-read before I buy it, but because. Like Fight Club, the comic book that just came out, Fight Club 2, did a lot of that stuff where they fucked with you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, drawn like as if it was superimposed over the page were like pills, like as if they're scattered across the page. So randomly on like panels, you can't read what people are saying. You can't see faces. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it actually becomes a problem. Like you have to then stop and think it through. Like, okay, what does he probably kind of say there? Because in the next, like, I have the context clues, like, to kind of bring me through. Like,
right.
You know? So it was a fun little thing to kind of like. It was almost like a game, kind of
It's
like,
kind of
in a
like
way.
a puzzle. Reading it became a puzzle.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Which in the story in that thing is a puzzle anyway, but you know, it's a whole different, you know. Oof, Tyler Durden. So there's that. What else you got there, buddy?
All right. So Entertainment Weekly.
What about that magazine?
Oh yeah, they've been premiering some
Wonderful magazine.
Oof.
some first looks here.
Yeah.
And the first one I'm going to talk about is we get a first look at Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the clown in the remake of It.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what. I looked at Bob. I was like, he looked at me. I was like, I don't know what music we have for that. But
What do you think? What do you think, Bob?
I've seen the picture, and I would like to see more of Pennywise's face before I say anything about it. There's not enough of it there.
I think we get enough to know.
I think he's.
Like, what the
I've
makeup
seen
is gonna be.
I've seen pictures of him next, up close, and I think he could look really good as Pennywise. I think he's got the right face for it. Because especially because of his eyes,
Right.
the shape and the largeness of his eyes. So I think, and he's a good actor, so I think it's a fine pick. But I want to see more of him as Pennywise before I
want to
comment
see like
on.
a full body shot.
Yeah.
I want to see what they do with the hair because this is like an obscured in the shadows.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna mess around with like the overall look too much.
No, I mean it's a clown. How crazy can you
Yeah,
get?
I think they'll try and make the makeup more sinister and more involved.
Yeah, if you look closely at like his brow, like his forehead on that, like you can see it's obviously like a molded piece where they've kind of shaped the furrowing going on in his between his eyes.
Yeah, and they made it look like he's kind of like been through some stuff with some scars on his forehead and stuff like that.
Right. But so it'll be interesting.
He looks suitably sinister.
Oh yeah, creepy as hell. I might actually rip that out and hang that.
So when this comes out, remember, people, you'll float too.
They all float down here. Bob's actually got a Pennywise tattoo.
Yes, I do.
Of the original, from the original ABC miniseries.
Tim Curry.
Yes.
Good old Timmy.
It's on my testicles. No,
it's tiny.
It's actually not.
Tiny. it's on. No, I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my testicles. It would be enormous.
I'll let you go.
All right. So
Thank
next
you, Bill.
I'll let you have that dream.
The other first look that we got to look at is Kong Skull Island, which is a prequel with Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, where we get to see the background to where King Kong came from.
Right. We get to see.
So we're going to see King Kong grow up, or we're going to see him go from being Mighty Joe Young?
Well, I think it's focusing more on all like the monsters that are on the island. I don't even know if we're going to get to see Kong.
I think it's going to be about like how his mom and dad were killed in an alley, and how he grew up to be just filled with revenge and a need for justice. And if it came down to it, he was going to travel all the way to America to get that justice.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right, Bill. I just want to see the size of the bananas that the thing eats.
Right. That's the other thing, Yeah. I think they're going to run out of food on that island.
Yeah, if he's like 120 feet tall, then you're going to be figuring, all right, well, he's got to eat, about 1 million pounds of bananas a day?
The picture's pretty cool with the giant skull behind them because it kind of gives you some scope and perspective in a sense of like just how big this bastard's going to be. And it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
Yeah. Something to look forward to.
All
right. Now I got a rumor. I got a rumor going on here. So this do not take this as gospel.
Okay. All right.
We have this.
Remember what Bobby Brown said about rumors, right? I mean, I don't, but there's a whole song he
Who's
made.
Bobby Brown?
Well,
that's right. He killed Whitney Houston.
Whoa, hang on.
Everybody's career. He killed everybody's career who was around him. We'll
That's
leave it at that.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way of putting it.
There we go. All right, so we got Shane Black, writer director, is not remaking. He's doing a new Predator movie. Shane Black, original cast member of Predator.
Yeah, how ironic. Not many people know that.
But they've been trying to find a lead, and reportedly, originally they were courting Ben Affleck.
Well, you put the word out. You cast a wide net.
Yeah, you throw, but originally they wanted someone big, someone proven as an action star.
Yes.
So Ben Affleck.
Sure, he's been working out.
No,
he doesn't want to
turn it down.
He's got enough going on.
No, Christian Bale.
Right.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't want to work in the movies anymore.
No, Tom Hardy.
There's a guy.
He's coming up and coming.
Yeah, I would think a Tom Hardy type.
No.
No.
So where are they?
He said no.
Oh.
Well, now.
Tobey Maguire?
Close. James Franco is
rumored.
evidently being courted to star in the new Predator movie.
That's right, because he was such a badass in that movie where the guy that lost his arm and was stuck between the two rocks.
That's probably about his most badass thing.
127 hours. Also in Rise of the Planet of the Apes and another Stephen King adaptation on Hulu, 11/22/63.
Sure,
great show.
Which is
I actually
really
think this would be interesting, but it's only funny when you realize the three people who they'd asked before him.
Yeah, right, exactly. So. Because otherwise, what are you doing with Franco? Like, unless you're doing a totally different thing, and Franco's like a librarian, and it comes to Manhattan, then I get it. Like, you know what I mean? But if
I want to hear him go, "Yo, what do you want from me?"
I don't want to hear Schwarzenegger.
Although Schwarzenegger has hinted that he might be in it, which means he wants to be in it, and they won't let him yet.
Well, I think it's just that Schwarzenegger was like, "Yeah, I'll work. I'll do any work."
Well, yeah, that's obvious from the commercial she's doing right now.
Maria wants me out of the house. I'll do anything. But, Franco, I think the only interesting thing about that is maybe to see him carrying around all that gear in the jungle and him just being, this is just heavy. This is just, how do you carry all this? These guns, they're heavy. So with that, I think then we got a little bit in the other section.
Yep, two things in the other section, both video game related.
Ooh.
First is, anyone remember Nintendo Entertainment System?
I remember them as a company. They used to make video games. Yes,
the old classic NES.
Mm-hmm.
Well, evidently they are re-releasing the console.
Ooh.
There's a mini version that you can hold in the palm of your hand.
Because we can do that.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, after the NES was expired, they actually had like a cartridge that had every single game on it.
Right. So
for the Super NES,
sure,
it was like 256 games on one cartridge. So this is a no-brainer. This is easy.
Well, the NES Classic Edition is what they're calling it, and it will come preloaded with 30 games, including Final Fantasy, Punch-Out, 2 Zelda games, Donkey Kong, and Super Mario Brothers 1 through 3.
Okay.
And it's let me just see here because there was. All right, you can cut there.
No.
The NES Classic Edition is small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, and it'll come with special retro controllers that are compatible with a Wii U, and a Wii U Classic controller is also compatible with the console.
Will they make the games feel less fucking clunky? Because here's the thing I've noticed about retro games. Like, they are annoying to play.
Are they?
A lot of really first gen, second gen, because of just the limitation of how it was built at the time. You know what I mean? Like at the time, it seemed awesome, but now you go back and play, you're like, wow, this is stiff. Like it's you think you were button mashing back in the day, but probably for no reason, because it's like it doesn't everything is so much slicker and faster now that when you go back and try and play Marvel vs. Capcom, it just feels like this fucking. It's so hard to describe how.
And this is even more retro than Marvel vs. Capcom.
Hell
This is you're talking about now. People are like, "Oh, Final Fantasy! I can play the classic Final Fantasies." You guys have to remember, this is the first Final Fantasy. Right. They didn't get really, really huge until the Super NES. Right. You know, they saved the company from extinction with the first 3.
Right.
But they didn't get to be really good until they got to the next level of hardware.
Yeah. So the gems on this are not really going to...
Yeah, they're not all going to be the gems you remember them as.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So you can look forward to that on November 11th.
Is there a price point on that?
It's not listing no price information was given.
As of yet.
Oh, because they don't want to scare people away with what they want for it.
Yeah. Which is going to be feeling like a little bit more than.
Yeah.
Really? You think? I would think this might be something.
No, if they ask for anything more than $50-$60 with a controller, then it's not worth it, because the games they've paid for themselves a million times over those games.
Yeah.
So
you're paying for the nostalgia and the fact
the
that
hardware. The hardware to make that thing is nothing.
Oh no, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
you just get in the so there's no reason for it.
Yeah,
So
you're just paying for the nostalgia.
if they try to get 3 digits on that, forget it.
Oh no, good God, that would be crazy if they tried to get 100.
They might. They might.
I think like 100.
I mean, they're already they're already selling like the Atari 2600s and stuff with the games in them for $30.
Right, that's what I mean. Like,
Right.
So
this shouldn't be any more than that.
no, definitely not. Then a little bit of the Pokemon Go.
So Pokemon Go has been really
Oh my
big.
God, everybody's loving the Pokemon Go.
Oh, this is like Pokemon crack.
There's people have gotten into car accidents.
People died. I think somebody died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our local comic shop is a gym.
Well, sure.
I've heard that someone actually got out of their car on the BQE.
Right.
That's the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, one of the busiest expressways in the country, in the middle of rush hour, to try and find one.
Yeah, well, because that's a good idea.
Yeah, and the dumbass didn't realize that it's an elevated highway, so it could be underneath you 90 feet.
Fair enough.
Okay, so
Me and my buddy Brian at work today, we watched a video where he was recording just him playing it. Like, so you just see the screen of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's on his phone. And you hear him totally walk into a fucking, basically a lake or just something, and you hear the whole phone and him go, like fucking, and it's totally real. And he's like, no, it's right over. He's talking to his girl or his buddy, and he's like, no, it's like right over here. Don't worry about it. I got it. And it's like you see him catch it and then do its little, like, give me the points thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit. And then like, I can't believe I walked into the water. Ah. Luckily he has a waterproof box on his phone.
So 2 people falling off cliffs.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a big impact. Also, there's talk of now finally rekindling a Pokemon live action movie.
I think this game was created by terrorists to kill us. This is a strategic plant. This is a conspiracy.
Well, before you say that,
to take advantage of our idiocy.
there is some good coming out of this.
Oh, okay.
For example,
it's not a live action movie.
Now, this is an article on comicbook.com dated
Right.
July 14th, which is 2 days before we're recording. So the number may actually have grown since then, but Pokemon Go has led to the discovery of at least 2 dead bodies. One in Riverton, Wyoming, and one in Nashua, New Hampshire.
Right.
People in local parks just playing, and they found floating bodies.
So it's like Pokemon Detective. It's Pokemon NCIS.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Pokemon CSI.
Pokemon Go solve a crime that the local police can't
It's
solve.
Pokemon Stand By Me.
Basically.
Stand by Pokemon.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Solving crimes. That's,
Who knew? Who knew? Kids, you are going to learn a lot today, including what a rotting corpse looks like and smells like.
And this is what you're going to smell like after you're dead.
There's a reason we
Yummy.
There's a reason we bury your body. All right.
Bring people together.
So I think what you want to hear a funny quick story too is that, like, today I got lucky on the ride home. I had the funny bus driver, which you don't always get.
Okay.
Here in New York, I feel
It's
like
good that you got the bus driver who's really more concerned with making you laugh than paying attention to the road.
Basically that. So basically, I feel like it comes down like this. Like, more often you get that with the train conductors. I feel like the train conductors try to be funny, but the problem with the train conductors is that all the speaker boxes suck ass. So you can't even you don't even know what he's trying to say.
Oh, have you ever like talked with a train conductor between stops?
Yeah.
They're very strange people.
Oh, almost all of them.
They're
Almost all.
very-
Well, they stand still like a mannequin all day with their arm extended. Because if they let go of that friggin' thing, the train stops.
Right.
You know.
Very nice, but very odd.
Very odd.
Very
yeah,
odd.
you find it?
like Carney odd.
We know.
Yeah.
We have a family who's a train guy for the city, Nate, and he's a little odd.
Yeah.
He's a little odd as guys go. But so anyway, so this guy, luckily today we got the funny guy who was actually genuinely funny. It wasn't annoying everybody on the bus though, but
Okay.
like every stop he was announcing, like he wanted. He it was almost like we were on a bus tour, where it's like, so over here, ladies and gentlemen, you got Domino's on the corner, and then you also have Pal Joey's or what was it Joe and Pat's?
He's
right there?
doing this just to entertain himself while he's driving.
Absolutely. And
He
so
don't
he's
care
like-
what's going on,
Absolutely,
who's on the
absolutely.
bus, what people
Absolutely.
are saying.
So his whole thing was like, so you got a choice between corporate and family owned, but make the right choice here, folks. I know it's a tough, it's tough. So he gets to right before I'm getting off. Actually, he's going. So when you get off the bus, folks, remember to look both ways before you cross the street, because if you get hit by a car, you're not going to get that Pokemon after all.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a good one. So. But I was on the phone with Palmer, obviously. He had called me. I was like, I'm going to have to call you back because since this guy's being a comedian up front, I can't hear you. So I can only listen to one of you.
Yes.
So I'll hang out with the
Right.
bus driver. He's funny.
Yeah, I love Palmer, but I think he made the right choice.
I'll just.
Yeah. You can hear Palmer when you come home because he's going to call you 2 seconds after you get in the door.
And I'm not knocking him for not being funny, but the jokes happen. Like this guy is shooting for. This guy could be slinging gold right now. He's got an open mic up at the front. That who knew? Like
And you didn't record it?
No. I should have. I told him at the end when I got off. I'm like, good work today, buddy. Don't let anybody tell you different.
All right. So that's
it for the Pokemon, I guess. Right.
that's it for the news.
That's it for news. We're all newsified. It was funky. It was fun.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This is New York City in 1997. The United States Police Force has its headquarters on the Statue of Liberty because in 1997, the entire city is a walled maximum security prison. Breaking out is impossible. Breaking in is insane. John Carpenter's Escape from New York.
Starts Friday at the Town Cinema and the Sundown. Rated restricted adult.
So Ed, I believe, if I remember correctly, me and you had a conversation during the week where you were going to bring some questions for me.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, we did.
How much do you want to set this up, and how do you want to do it?
Okay, no, we were just talking about different games, and there's a little improv game that I used to play, which is just random questions. And basically, it's called Lightning Round. Basically, you think up random questions, and you should cut some of this because I think if we over-explain the game.
Okay.
But it's basically there's a set amount of time.
Okay.
I'm gonna, right now we're gonna do a battle between you and Bob.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to hear the question. You have 5 seconds to respond.
Okay.
Your ass
Okay.
is mine.
So we're going to talk over each other like we normally do every 5 seconds is what you're telling me.
Yes. And if you remember, if you don't answer the question within 5 seconds, you lose credit.
I barely have any credit as it is.
Yeah.
I'm not
you
buying a
forfeit.
house.
You,
What do
you-
I care?
You can't provide an answer. So just give me one moment. I'm
I'll
just
give him one moment.
pulling up my stopwatch because I want to do this right.
Well,
according to the
now
official general rules.
we're going to have to reset every question because you want to do the stopwatch. All right. All right.
No. We won't have to reset every question.
All right.
No. I know what I'm doing here.
All right. I guess you work this. You practice out.
All right. Okay. So should we flip a coin to see who goes first?
Bob, go first. He's older.
Oh.
I mean, I'll go first.
Listen,
if
throw
you-
me on. I don't
you can
care.
defer.
I don't
you
care.
can defer.
It don't matter.
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you. Okay. Bob's going first. I'm giving you. You got 10 questions.
We're shooting for the funny.
5 questions each.
Okay.
Just know you've got to know the answer and it's got to be correct.
No fucking pressure, right?
Yeah. You ready?
Okay.
All right. How many licks does it take to get to the center of Ray Liotta?
2.
Where's Jimmy Hoffa buried?
My backyard.
Who would win in a cage match between Julia Child and Oscar the Grouch?
Gordon Ramsay.
What is Jabba the Hutt's favorite cocktail?
Skywalker Ale.
What is the song "Baby It's Cold Outside" really about?
Frozen nipples.
What was Thomas Edison's greatest invention?
Music.
What was
Recorded music.
Who is the least racist character in Looney Tunes?
The black guy.
What lullaby does Aquaman sing to his kid at night?
right, forget that one.
How many miles does it take to get travel from Gotham City to Castle Grayskull?
27.
All right. Oh, and I'm sorry, last question. If Spinal Tap ever wrote a Christmas song, what would be the title?
A Very Small Tap Christmas.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, so that's 9 out of 10.
You had some gems in there, Bob.
All
I was
correct
trying not
answers.
to laugh because I didn't want to
Really?
throw it all off.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
you had a few really good comebacks.
I mean,
in there.
I was trying to, like, off the top of my
yeah.
head.
Like, what's the funny? I got you. No.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Okay, all right. So, Bill, are you ready?
I am as ready
Yeah,
as
yeah,
I
he
will
he
never
got
be.
9 out of 10.
9?
So,
Wow.
So we got to see.
I got to say, let's see.
Can you beat this? Can you beat this? All right.
Ooh, let me
All
be
right,
ready.
here we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bill.
Sir,
How often does Seth Rogen trim his nose hair?
once.
How often?
Once.
All right. What is the only topping Michelangelo would ever put on pizza?
Marble dust.
What is the strangest object Richard Gere has ever shoved up his ass?
Dakota Fanning.
What is the strangest object Richard Gere has ever shoved up someone else's ass?
Bust of Beethoven.
What is the strangest object Richard Gere has ever shoved up your ass?
A map.
If Cher was a Greek god, what would be your power?
To turn back time.
How did Humpty Dumpty fall off the wall?
Sneezed.
Who is the best choice to play Arnold Schwarzenegger's character in a remake of Jingle All the Way?
Bill Murray.
What fruit does Jack Bauer put on top of his pancakes?
Bullet shells.
And what is the active ingredient in Miracle Grow?
The Miracle what?
Miracle Grow.
Bob Vila's backhand.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. All correct.
So Bill wins the lightning round this week.
Wow. We're going to have to do this again. This
Yeah.
was fun.
Okay, this was good.
This was fun for first time through it and just feeling it out. I like this. This might become a regular thing. Hopefully we'll get some other people to play along with us once in a while.
That was a test. What was your feedback? Let's hear some feedback from people. Tell us if they liked it.
Yeah, tell us,
Yeah.
if people were digging
Yeah.
that.
And if you
Whose
really,
answers were funnier?
yeah,
Pit us against each other. Make us fight.
yeah, if you really dig it,
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
send in some questions.
Wow.
s-
Okay.
Send it as an attachment in a PDF. That way we won't read it until.
Ever. You think I'm ever opening an attachment in an email from a person I don't know?
All right, fine, be like that.
Put it in the body of your email
Okay,
and address it to Edward O'Hare at.
you're giving up my fucking private
I
email.
don't even know if that's.
Oh,
your
really?
email. I don't know if that's it off the top of my head.
No, it's not. Thank
Okay,
God.
thank God.
Oof.
But yeah, actually, what you could do is, if you do want to write out a bunch of those kinds of questions, write them out in batches of 10. Do at least 2 batches, so there's 20 overall, because that's how that's working, right?
Yeah.
And I think the mothership is calling it again. Damn, we're getting all kinds of calls.
You're hearing that. I'm not.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, I
Yeah,
hope it's not coming
I'm
through.
getting it too.
Okay, so it might be coming through. But send those in an email and in the subject line put lightning round. And at the very least, we may not get to it right away every week, but we'll put them off to the side, and you'll get full credits and thank yous when we do. So, Ed, thanks for bringing that to the table, man. That was fun.
Sure.
And
Absolutely.
we're gonna do some more of that kind of thing in the future. We're gonna try and bring the funny around here a little bit more often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that people here aren't funny, but
But
maybe
looks aren't everything, and you can't see us on a
that's
podcast.
it.
So
See, that was a
Yeah.
good one. That was a good
yeah.
one. That's Bob. You know what they called him back in college?
What was that?
Zinger. The Zinger. All right, so we're gonna do some
It was
email.
more like, who the fuck is that guy? And why is he here? He didn't pay to get in this class.
He's not a student. You don't belong here. You don't even go here.
He's just here to get chicks.
That's for all the Mean Girls fans. All right, so we're going to jump into some emails now. It's going to be some emails. Ed, we're going to start with yours because that's the way we do it. Ed sends us emails as much as anybody else, maybe even more so, dollar for dollar, email for email. So, Ed,
All right.
what is the first one you got there for us?
I got
this
4 this week. The first one up is Gentleman.
Sir.
Do you think John Bon Jovi ever thinks about growing out his hair again?
No, I think he's rethinking doing those freaking disc TV commercials that he's doing.
Oh, my God.
We've got the power to turn back time.
I can't even do it. I don't even want to do it. Now it's my fucking head.
Let's start over. Let's rewind.
I'm not sure who Bob is doing. but it's not Bon Jovi.
No, I can't do Bon Jovi.
I hear you. I
I'm
can't.
just trying to make fun of Bon Jovi.
I can't do it right
yeah,
now.
He just looks like he's 1,000 years old when they zoom in on him on those commercials.
I think someone's
It's like-
drinking. There was a hint of a British accent in there somewhere.
Yeah, the 4K, the 4K camera
Yeah,
is like really like letting you see how old he is.
Yeah. Letting you know where all that work is not being spent.
Yeah, it's,
But for me to answer your question, Ed, I'd say he probably thinks about it every time he cuts his hair because he was like, I was so close, man. I was going to let it grow again that time. For real I was. But then it got to that awkward length where it's like, you got to commit one way or the other. My wife told me no.
I've been in that like every month now for the last year.
That's how I ended up here.
Yeah, it seems like all 80s rock stars were told at the same time, you have to cut your hair now.
Yeah, it's time to stop clogging the drain at the house. And
I mean,
just,
they cut it, Metallica cut all their hair.
Yeah.
And
Everyone except Twisted Sister. They all got the memo.
because they're not getting work.
Yeah, that's maybe something like that. What do you got next?
All right, gentlemen.
Sir.
Which fake version of the Ghostbusters from a commercial would you most like to see turned into a movie?
None of the ones that are out right now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Unless the guy...
I didn't want to see Ghostbusters redone as a movie. I mean, it was great for what it was. There was no reason to do it again, except to make more money. So...
Well, that's the reason for almost all remakes.
Yeah.
So to see Papa John wearing that friggin' suit is just...
If I told you that Papa John, the guy who is Papa John, dies in the movie, would you go see it?
I would go to see him die in the first 5 minutes, and then they could just replay the first 5 minutes over and over again for the next hour and 40.
He gets killed by one too many layers of pepperoni on his pizza.
Well,
Let him eat the pizza. I want to see if he eats his own pizza.
Oh, he
now,
doesn't.
Yeah, there's one with like Carmelo Anthony and Porzingis and Spike Lee and Clyde Frazier.
Which was the funniest one.
Yeah, and the thing that's like to me, I actually am interested in seeing that because it's the most New York out of the bunch, and it feels more New York than this Ghostbusters movie feels.
Well, maybe the next one we get will be the Spike Lee joint commercial.
Fair enough. What else you got there, Red?
All right, next question. Gentlemen.
Sir.
Were any of you involved in your high school's musical?
Thankfully, no.
No?
GED programs really don't do musicals, although that would be pretty interesting to see. Instead of like Glee, it's just GED.
GED the musical.
And
Someone's writing it.
And it's my good enough diploma. Yeah. Hope I get the easy booklet when I take my test, like Bill did. Like I was dreading the math because, like, first of all, like here's how it went at the time. Like, they put out 4 booklets for each section, so like not everybody was getting the same exact booklet. You know what I mean? Those questions, where they come from. So all I knew was that, like, for the math, like the teachers told us, like, because they prepped you for the test, you really didn't learn. You got test prep, basically, is how that went. So they were like, yeah, so there's going to be 4 booklets. One of them is going to cover everything a little bit, and then each of the other 3 are going to lean towards one of these 3 other top subjects, and that's why we cover them so much. And I was just like, fuck, because I didn't go to that class at all. Let me tell you something. I didn't go to GED so much that eventually when they saw me one day, they're like, we didn't send you for the test yet? And I was like, no, you guys never scheduled me. Like, you know, I'm like, all right, we're going to schedule you next week. And I was like, whoosh, dodging this place for fucking 3 months. Crazy. So horrible.
And you got the GED?
And I got it, rocked it.
Education at work, folks.
Yeah. Tells you how hard the GED really is.
You know,
I got on the honors on my GED test.
That's what I'm saying. It's easy as hell, and also me and you are just not going to school type students. Like we're
Right. It
smart
was like
guys, but we're just not.
We
in
pick
class.
up things in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like,
and so it's like, all right, I got 39 minutes. I don't need to be here now. Thank you.
Yeah, just you know. And I loved how some of those teachers would be like, listen, if you just come on Fridays for the tests and get the homework assignments done by the end of the marking period, I'll pass you. And I was like, oh, cool, man. Like, and actually meant it at the time. Like, thanks. Appreciate that. Cool. Like, you know, actually giving me an out. Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
Still couldn't get it.
Yeah,
Still couldn't meet that requirement.
Yeah, I had teachers who were like, dude, why do you just come in on Fridays? So, like, and you ace these tests. Why are you in my class?
Yeah, I got that, too. Like, why don't you come during the week? You just be here. You don't have to do anything. I got that, too, from a lot of them. I won't even make you do work. And, like, bro, I have weed to go smoke with my friends. Like, you know, I want to be down on the tracks, hanging out.
I'd be sitting
nothing.
in class taking a test smelling like weed.
Yeah, well, I've done that too. It was great.
It's just like, wow, I went to a whole different earth than these guys.
I was in homeroom one day.
Well, no, actually, what you're talking about was kind of what I felt through a lot of college. I
Fair
actually,
enough. Yeah, we were.
Yeah, it was weird. I I tried. I was a solid A- student all through
Right.
high school,
Right.
and then got freshman year of college. I just realized, oh fuck, it didn't mean anything. And,
Right, like fuck this place.
and I got through. I have a bachelor's degree that I don't do anything with. So
well, no, you're a bachelor, so
No,
you're
because-
doing perfectly fine with
Yeah.
it.
but
Anyway.
yeah. So I can sort of relate. But
Fair enough. We'll get into Bill and Bob's
But,
school years another time.
yeah, but
Oh yeah, wow. The stories,
Someone will send an
the
email. now.
trauma I'll have to relive.
just out of curiosity, any of you ever done like community theater or anything theatrical?
I was in my 4th grade play.
Okay,
I was the 3rd Indian from the left.
that counts.
I had to lead.
Thanksgiving play.
I had to lead in my 5th grade play and pulled out of it at a stage fright. Like
What part?
uh,
What play?
it was tall. It was this tall tale competition thing. It was some weird fucking one of these school plays like that's like very unknown, and it's like everybody gets dialogue. Kind of play.
The teacher wrote it, didn't he?
Something like that. I don't know. I don't know if he literally did, but it's one of these ones they pick out specifically. So basically, what it was is like I was the moderator, and it would be a tall tale competition. So like Paul Bunyan and some other historical kind of mythical person would have like a thing where they told tall tales, and like I had to pick which one of them would win.
You were the Rod Serling that connected it all.
Basically,
Oh my God!
one day I come in, we're doing the rehearsal, and I had the giggles. And I couldn't stop, and I fucking basically destroyed this whole rehearsal for the afternoon. Like, you know what I mean? And not that made me quit, but it was this thing that it was leading up to that point where it was like I was already kind of regretting it and shit. But fucking, it was one of these things where like I was the weirdo kid, like, you know what I mean? Obviously.
Yeah.
But when I remember like when they would do like, oh, who wants to, like when we first had the teacher brought it up and was giving it out, it was like, okay, so who wants to try for this role? This is the lead. It's got the most lines and all that stuff. And like nobody made a move. So I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Like, you know what I mean? So I went up there and rocked it, like kind of in a way. He was like, all right, that was great. Like, you got it. You know what I mean? And like, it was
Yeah.
like all of a sudden 3 other jerks raised their hand like, oh, I could do it too. If that fucking weirdo kid could do it, I could do it. And like, they were just my understudies.
Grammar school. Your expectations.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, the teacher was like, you are a thespian. I am going to take you out of this school and send you off to, LaGuardia.
You could have done it. You could have done it, man.
I was dancing through the hallway. I was like singing all the words to Fame. All right, what's next?
Final question. Gentlemen, would any of you be brave enough to take cooking lessons from Hannibal Lecter?
No.
Do I know him as Hannibal Lecter? I guess I do if I have to.
I wouldn't want
brave.
to. I wouldn't want to learn how to cook anything that he cooks.
No, I think it's not a matter of that. I think for me, it's like it's all about the preparation. So like whatever he's making is just as good for venison and beef as much as it is.
Yeah, but
Cousin
unless
Steve.
I'm like in an accident and I crash into a mountain in the Andes and I got to eat my soccer buddies,
Well, this is why you might need at least one cooking lesson.
then I'm not gonna be eating people. So
You need to know what goes good with a thigh. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
or a larynx.
I'm gonna assume that anything that works with chicken is gonna work with people.
Not just thigh. I'm talking lung.
Well, that's the
Let's
best.
see,
Oh,
lung,
Brain.
You give
liver,
that stuff to the Scotsmen.
kidney,
if you got them around.
tongue.
Tongue. Tongue of politicians, probably the best. All right, so Ed, that's going to round.
That's gonna be stringy and tough.
Yeah, it's
It's
true.
a very muscular.
That's true.
tongue.
Depends on what season, like, and what stage of their career, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Got to get them while they're young.
Yeah, kind of like you would with veal.
Exactly.
that's all the Ed mails for
That's
this week.
all of the Ed mails for this week. Everybody scream and shout, yay! Because it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I like that you marked off that that email as fava beans in the
That was the subject. Yeah.
yes. All right, so getting into the emails of other people, Ed.
Okay.
We got one here from our buddy Don McIntyre.
Hey.
So he says, hey, guys, I'm writing to you from the maternity ward at the hospital as I wait for my wife to give birth to our son, so I'll make this short.
As long as it's his wife giving birth and not him.
Good point. So this will go up on Monday, so hopefully by that time the kid's born and all is good, so we will say congratulations, Donald. I'm sure that it's a boy
Yes.
that you named Roland or some other, like Luke or some other some kind of pop culture reference that either escaped her or you talked her into. letting you name the kid that. I guarantee it. All right, so his question is, what are your thoughts, concerns about the upcoming Dark Tower movie? Thanks, guys, and keep up the good work. So I asked Ed earlier, like you haven't read any Stephen King, and I don't think, Bob, have you read the Dark Tower stuff?
I've just read some of it.
Okay.
Like with the cowboy.
Exactly, Gunslinger.
Yes, the Gunslinger.
Roland. I'm pretty psyched about it. I like what I'm seeing actually in this new issue of Entertainment Weekly.
This is an epic, really.
Yeah,
it has to be done that way.
Yeah, I mean it's like 8 books, and it's his Lord of the Rings. It's Stephen King's Game of Thrones. It's his version of this giant sweeping epic, and it's one of these things like a lot of those kinds of epics. It's like, well, how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do that? And so they're kind of like they're fudging with it and stuff, and I don't want to give it away because it ties into the ending of the book series.
Yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi in this whole story,
but that's what's great about it is that it's this mashup where it's like it's a little post-apocalyptic because that's where the main character kind of comes from a world, but it's cross-dimensional, and it's got stuff like in the first few books, like they have to fight off this cyborg bear that's like dying, so he's all like half rotted with maggots coming out of his head. So
and it gets meta at one point. Like Stephen King is a character, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like that's a thing that I try not to push too much because I feel like in the book series that's a make it or break it kind of thing. But he does pop up. He does pop up in all this world dimension hopping that they kind of do in the book series.
Well, why not?
He does come across, and so it is a thing where it's like, well, why not? You know what I mean? And so I'm really jazzed for it. I like what I'm seeing so far. Matthew McConaughey playing the Man in Black, playing the bad guy, and Idris Elba. Or is it Idris or Idris?
I think it's Idris.
Idris Elba.
I think
I
Americans.
don't think it makes a difference.
I think
He knows who he is.
Well, that's true.
And I'm sure he knows me. No disrespect.
And he's been getting it for a long time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like most people. So I am psyched. I am jazzed. It'll be interesting to see how it all kind of finally comes together and what it looks like when we start to get some footage out of it. But looking at some of these photos, it looks pretty good.
What are they doing with this? Because I've been staying out of the loop on this stuff.
So basically, it's going to be at this stage. I think it's just a 3-picture deal.
Movies?
I think it's a 3-picture deal at this stage. There was talk at one point when Ron Howard was attached to it that it was going to be like movies and TV, like a TV series would run in between when the movies came out. But logistically, it just became a nightmare to make it happen. So,
yeah, because you got to tie everything in with the TV networks.
It's a lot of mapping ahead of time. It's basically what it comes down to. It's like, how do you get all those things rolling at more or less the same time?
Right, and with all the logistics involved in just getting shows done, even like an episode of TV or a movie.
And also just the kind of thing where, like, if... and this is also kind of the miracle that was Avengers, was that if one of those things fails...
Well, that was it. That was it. It's a matter of, like, whichever one is the first step. If the movies if the movies don't work, then all of a sudden now it's all this money that you're already probably pre-investing in the TV series.
Yeah.
Because you're moving ahead behind the scenes, like, so these things come out within a certain amount of time frame of each other.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of pre-investment.
Yeah. So it's a thing that I'm glad they kind of walked away from it. For this kind of a thing, for this size and scope, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, it's
it could have ended in a total disaster.
It should just kind of go to a series altogether, where it's like HBO or something like that, But this is this is looking good. This is looking good. So I'm psyched for that. Thanks, Donald. I'm glad you asked. And then we got one from Agent Palmer. Poor guy.
I just did a visual joke for Bill that no one will
know except for me.
Yeah, wow, I was too busy playing. I missed it.
Bob, you were working. It's totally understandable.
Yeah.
So he says to Agent Palmer says to the Wicked Theory podcast, he didn't trip me up this time. That was good. He says, "Stop what you're doing because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to."
Oh, haha.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that has been stuck in my head, but I'm glad to get it out. And
okay,
he
should have warned me. I would have put a backbeat to it or something.
Yeah, and I'll thank him for now sticking that in our heads and anybody who's listening. I'm sure they're all really happy about it. He says, "I'm going to keep this one simple. Turkey, Nice, Brexit, the impending U.S. election. There's been a lot of crazy shit going on recently. So each one of you come up with three things that each that either are currently happening or are coming soon that are good and or positive.
This is homework. This should.
Well, it's like he's like saying like I could have said this Dark Tower movie. Like, I think it's like that. Like, what's something coming along that you actually got some hope for in the world? Bring some hope to the world.
Yeah.
All right, man. We got Suicide Squad.
It's right around the corner.
We got Star Trek Beyond.
I think actually for Suicide Squad, we're going to try and do an episode. We're going to try and do like a movie date thing.
Cool.
Where at the very least we'll all have seen it, and then we'll do a movie review of it, official style. Like we haven't done that in a while. But so that's a thing.
We got Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek Beyond, looking better and better. Early reviews, looking good.
Yep. And I mentioned at the top of the show, Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot's back.
That's a personal happiness.
Oh, that's a very depressing show, but still.
It's good, so I like it. Which is a very weird place to be with TV sometimes. I like it because it's dark and miserable. I don't know. For me, I don't know. I think nothing in the world.
This is
Nothing
why I
good.
was saying it's homework. Because I'm not ready for this.
Well,
I think the lesson that I would learn is, it's a hard, tough, cruel world out there.
Yeah.
You got to focus on the little things.
I hear you.
The little things like that bus driver on the drive home.
Yeah, the funny
You
guy,
know?
right? It's things like that. Like for me right now, it's like I'm thinking about finally reading this article in Entertainment Weekly about the Dark Tower. Like that's a highlight. It's the little thing that it's that pack of cookies over there on the shelf. It's the little things.
I mean, I guess you could say, all right, I'm learning songs in Rockstar again. I put that down for a while, so that's a good thing.
There you go.
So
I mean, this is like little things, though.
Little things, baby, little things. So he says that's it. Palmer out, but then he hits it with a P.S. In the pizzeria that Bill works at, tossing dough. What are the specials, and is there delivery? So this is a joke I barely even get. I think on a recent 7 Days of Geek, there was a question of somehow I came up in a conversation, and it was like, well, what does that guy even do? I think he works like at a pizzeria or something, right? And so it turns into...
Because everyone in New York is working in a pizzeria.
Wait,
I guess.
you used to work at a bagel place.
Right.
Now you're working... Do you even want to say, or...
No, usually I really don't. But
Yeah,
I work
that's
in a
fine.
warehouse. I work in a warehouse. It's
Yeah.
usually about the extent I put to it. It's a thing where like I didn't know what the hell the joke was because I wasn't listening to the episode. So other people were listening to it and tagging me on it on Twitter. And they're like, oh, I can't wait till Bill gets up there and starts flinging dough around the room up at Podtoberfest. And then I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, does that mean money?
Yeah, there was.
Like,
I saw one. I saw one that like I guess it cross tweeted
Sure,
onto my
sure.
feed, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
going
so
with,
I didn't get it.
with pizza dough?
Yeah, I didn't get it at first. So I'll say that the...
Yeah, I only check out the Shumway like every 3 days, so I gotta get on that more.
Yeah.
So
Shumway Industries has to get their intern to work their Twitter or something.
yeah, well, those tweets were just out on
Such a giant
on
corporation
Twitter
like Shumway
main,
Industries.
on the Twitter main. So I guess to this, I'll say that the specials are a fist to the face, and
Get the fuck out of here.
and if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. All right, that's what we usually do. Is there delivery? Yeah, but only in a 1 block radius. I'm running it over. I'm not getting in the car for you. All right, because you're not paying me for gas. All right, that's how we do it at Bill's Pizzeria.
You're not gonna hire a delivery boy?
Well, why would you want that? Why would you want some random stranger coming to your house? Now that guy knows where you live. He knows
Yeah,
what you
if
eat.
it's only a 1 block radius, by the time the next pizza he just tosses in the oven is done, he'll be back as long as he runs.
I'm the only guy
Right?
there.
He's keeping himself honest, you know what I mean? He's able to run back and forth, right?
Yeah.
All right, I got to go deliver this one. Let me put this one in quick. All right, great. I got this one now. I come back. I'll take this next one.
Simple.
There you
Put
go.
another one in. Deliver one.
So
And he's got to lock up in between.
so that's it. From
Back at
Palmer.
5.
So then we got another one here from Brian Hughes.
Brian. Yo, Brian.
Brian. Yo, Brian.
Hey, Bri.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian, let me ask you a question, Brian. Hey, Brian. Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah, what was that?
Let me ask you a question, Brian, real quick. How's your bag of balls? I'm just curious, how's it doing? Anyway, so he says, greetings, gents. Really enjoyed last week's show. Top entertainment.
Thank you, sir.
And he
Thanks.
says, 3 quickies. Question 1. What is your dream motor vehicle? Vehicles. I really want one of those little small smart cars now that looks like it fits like 2.5 people.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to take it, jack it up, put it on a lift with some knobby mud tires or something like that. It probably won't have any center of balance at all, but I don't give a shit. I'm not making hard turns. But
that's easy for me. I want 2016 Dodge Charger Hellcat.
Nice. That's like a real thing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No,
and
no,
it's only 707 horsepower, the fastest production car on the planet right now. Well, the most powerful engine.
What's like that going for a fucking top package?
About 60 to 80, somewhere in there.
Bob, I got that in my piggy bank in the room.
Yeah, no
I got
problem.
you covered. I get you 2 of them. You can wear them like shoes.
I'd like to drive a Ford Windstar.
Yeah, we've had those in our family. You don't want to drive a Ford Windstar.
No, I'm just.
If you're going to drive a Ford Windstar, do us all a favor and drive it into a lake.
Yeah. I'd really like a nice Dodge Dart from like 1984.
No, I'm not a car guy. I'm not a gearhead. I drive a 2000 Chrysler Concorde.
So what would your dream vehicle be, though? Like,
There's nothing you would like to be driving rather than your Concorde?
Even if it's the Batmobile, like then fine. Like, you know, what is your dream?
Yeah,
you want a
nice Mercedes 560.
Oh, then the Black Beauty. That's,
all right.
Green Hornet's car.
And you know what?
Something in the.
Okay, so that's a flat black 1964 Lincoln with suicide doors.
Yeah. I was going to
be honest
say
with you, that's kind of like what I want to. I want the car from the movie The Car.
Okay, you should watch this show called Phantom Works.
Okay.
I believe they're actually a Canadian shop.
All right, but they did a
but they
remake on
do.
that?
They had a guy come in. He had like $80,000, and he wanted them to rebuild that car from scratch.
Man.
So they were doing it, but then they ran out of money.
Well,
So now it's in limbo in the shop.
well, maybe if I ever get money, I'll call him up and be like, "Yo, finish that job."
And it's going to be like another $30,000-$40,000 to finish it.
Yeah. But something of a nice town car style.
Right. Classy.
Yeah.
Classy is what you're
All
saying.
right, so like a '73 Lincoln,
You gotta
classic, something nice, big,
You gotta drive it
Yeah.
with pinkies out.
pre
got
the fuel crunch era.
Mm-hmm.
So question number 2 from Brian Hughes is skiing or beach vacation. If you had to pick, where would you of the two?
I'll just stay home.
I like my house.
You stole my line.
I think that was kind of all of our lines
Yeah.
a little bit. So if we were forced then to go out and you had to fucking pick, parents have your Nazis have your parents. They will die, Ed.
So you must choose.
Chose
I'll go to the ski lounge as long as I don't have to ski.
Because you like the Alps.
Yeah, I prefer the cold weather.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. I do not appreciate sweating. But Bob?
I'll go with the beach. I'd rather sweat than freeze.
It's tough. It's tough. But I'm gonna go of those two with skiing because I've been to the beach.
See, my whole thing with vacations though is that if you're going somewhere, you're not vacationing. You're working.
They tend to go
it's
that way.
It's it's the 2 hours at the airport. It's
when do you get to relax?
You don't get to relax. It's
Right.
like, oh my God, we got to go do this while we're here. We
gotta
got to
do
do this.
that.
No,
It's
we
all-
don't.
Yeah.
I busted my ass for months just so I can have this.
Sounds like you went on vacation
I don't
with a
wanna-
girlfriend.
I don't want to do
the
nothing.
problem
No.
for everybody that goes on vacation. You tend to go on vacation with other people, and therefore there has to be things to do. We have to go.
No, my vacation
You know?
comes when other people go on vacation.
Right, there you go.
Because
Speaking of, Bob's going away soon. The house is going to be so quiet when he's gone.
Yeah.
3 days, gee, or 5 days.
5. It's enough.
It's a weekend and a couple of work days.
Sure.
I'll also say, and this doesn't just extend to vacation.
Right.
My parents,
Right.
often because I live with my parents,
Okay.
and they
sorry.
It's 16. Don't
yeah,
worry.
it happens. They often argue or lament that they rarely get a day off together because they both work jobs.
Oh, I got you.
And the thing that always frustrates my mother is they will finally get a weekday off together, and she'll plan out and think, you want to go to Jersey, you want to
Right.
go to this restaurant, you want to have lunch together, go to a movie, and then she'll inevitably turn to my father and say, what do you want to do? And my dad will say, I just want to stay home.
I just want to enjoy the day off and relax.
Yeah, really.
Which tends to be what all guys want to do. Like when they finally get that middle of the week day off. It's not about errands.
Yeah.
Like can we have a day where it's like
supposed to be a day off.
exactly.
The key word
Yeah.
is off.
Right. Exactly.
Right? Off my feet, on my ass with a remote control,
Right. There you go.
in a lightly refrigerated room if it's the summertime, or a nice toasty room if it's winter. That's
it.
That's it.
It's about decompressing.
Yes.
You know?
That's
So-
a clamor clip right there.
I think so. That might have been about 22 seconds. Somebody's on it. Okay, so his third question from Brian Hughes is, are any of you queued up for an autograph from... Any of you queued up for an autograph from one of your heroes? I'm not sure if this is internationally phrased. Any of you queued up for an autograph from one of your
I'm
heroes?
ready for one.
You're queued. I think what he's saying is, have any of us really stood online for an autograph? For
Oh, right.
like
yeah.
in the queue.
Queued up. In the queue.
Have
Right.
any of us
Okay.
queued up?
No.
Yeah.
It's New York. If you walk around long enough, you can kind of meet somebody.
I got Stan Lee's autograph when I was a kid, when I was like
Yeah.
11 or 12.
I mean, in New York, when I used to go to New York Comic Con, I'd usually meet up with creators, but never any really long lines.
Yeah.
You know, I never sat and paid to have someone give me their autograph.
Yeah,
and take a
I'm not
picture.
paying for an autograph either. I'm not that. A, I'm not that devoted to any particular one thing, and B, I'm kind of like feel a little bit like, I think you're getting paid to be here too.
You know, fuck Lou Ferrigno.
You know what I mean?
No, that's the deal. It used to be that they would pay them to be there,
Right.
and then Comic-Con would get. That's how Comic-Con would make money. Is they would charge $10 or $20 for the autographs, and then basically the celebrities figured out I can make more money if I say, all right, just cover my hotel, and then I keep all the money from the autographs and the photos.
Oh, okay.
That's how that's and that's how free markets work, Bill.
No, absolutely. I'm not knocking the practice and saying people shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it always rubs me like a little bit like, I don't know about that. Like, you know, if I'm signing for you, if I'm getting an autograph from you on an 8x10 glossy, then okay, I should probably toss you a couple of beans because you didn't pay. Like those came out of some fucking fund.
Right,
Somebody
yeah.
paid for those physical things. But if I'm
that's going to cost
$5,
$5, $10.
handing you a book I already bought and you're just signing it to be nice to a fan, to cultivate your fan base, to say thank you to me as I say thank you to you, and I got to give you $10 or $35 as some of these things go.
Well, you know, it's just some
I don't
people.
know. It feels weird to me.
You know, also,
You shouldn't have to pay extra for the autograph. You just bought the book.
Yeah.
Well, especially that if I'm buying that book there,
The
at
guy
that
already
store
made
that
money on
day,
you.
Yeah. Plus, the whole purpose to an autograph is this is proof that I actually met this guy and had a 10-second conversation with him.
Yeah, if it's even that, I feel like it's even not even about, like the autograph is just like, when are you going to look at it again? It's hardly even worth like that part of the memory. The memory is the memory. Like I want to get online to get something autographed and not have anything and just be like, I'm just going to talk to you for fucking, how long do I get? 30 seconds?
Yeah.
I just want to tell you for 30 seconds like what your work has meant to me.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Not you, Ed. It's always about you. All right, so he says, take it easy, chaps. Cheers, Brian.
Later, Brian.
Later, Brian.
Thanks.
Go back up to the hills.
Peace out.
All right, what do we got here? Guess who we got now? No guesses. All right, I'll tell
Stephanie.
That's right.
Oh,
Good
wow.
one, Bob. Bob, give us some Batman stuff. Give us a little Batteroony kind of theme. Something for Steph. Steph Munez from the Gotham Lights. From the Gotham Lights podcast with our buddy Henno. Because that's his name. All right, so he says, hey, she says, hey, yous guys. Because she loves to hear me say it like that, I guess. Hey, yous guys.
Every time she does that, I'm going to respond with, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?
Oh,
I kind of want to respond with, like, please stop, don't do that again.
I think Goonies. Hey, you guys.
That's kind of like what I think, and I also feel like it's like, it's bad if I have this accent that I have as a fucking complete stereotype and trope.
Yeah.
I don't like walking into it as much as I do. But anyway, she says, it's Steph here with another email. Since last time I wound up with nearly the same topic as Palmer, but with better results, I'm shying away from geek news for the week.
Okay.
I've recently started listening to the You Must Remember This podcast.
Oh, I adore that show. That is an incredible podcast,
All right.
especially if you're a movie lover.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see what she says. She says, which is all about the golden era of Hollywood and more of Hollywood's first century, 1900 to 2000. As a history geek in general, I was hooked immediately. So when it came to think of a subject or subjects for my weekly Wicked Theory email, I had a history on the brain, and it gave me an idea. Today in Geek History, what happened on this day... today in Geek History. So what happened on this day in years past that would be of interest to those of us, the geek persuasion. So here we go. On July 16th of 1945, the research done by the Manhattan Project culminates for the first successful detonation of a plutonium-based nuclear bomb in New Mexico. Which is always, because we love that stuff in geekery.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's fun stories. built out of that.
Spawned many a Many a TV show, movie, book.
Sure. The freaking Hulk.
Right.
movie.
Geeks in New York blew up New Mexico. Okay, next.
Fair enough. July 16th, 1969, the Apollo 11 space mission is launched, becoming the first manned mission to the moon, crewed by Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. The mission completed President John F. Kennedy's wish to reach the moon by the end of the 1960s, which he had announced during a speech in 1961. In July 16, 1995, Amazon is publicly launched out of a garage in Bellevue, Washington. The setup consists of 3 Spark workstations that are hooked up to a bell. The bell rings every time a sale is made. So there we have it, boys. That is today in geek history. Thank you, Steph. She turned that into a segment. Thanks, Steph. For,
Really, if that's going to become a segment, let me know. I'll have to write some music.
I said she turned it into a segment.
Okay.
I'm not giving permission for her to have her own segments via email. The email
Yeah, if it becomes a segment, I got to write music for her.
Fair enough, right.
Yeah.
And then that means like we got to renegotiate your contract. It's like this whole rigmarole.
Every time.
Yeah,
every time. And his lawyer's a dick.
Well, not for nothing. But that's why you get that lawyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
dick. He gets you what you want. You
Yeah.
know?
It's
the reason you
either
hire
have
him.
a family lawyer as a lawyer, or you have a Jewish lawyer.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is his lawyer's Dom.
The big Dom's dad. That's the one you want.
Oh, he's Italian. That's the next best thing.
That's it. And he's ruthless. I'll tell you that. No, I'm only kidding.
We're going to take the money out of your pocket by force.
I'm going to turn you upside down and just shake it all out of your pockets. But I think that's really going to wrap us up, kids. I really appreciate everybody sending in emails this week. Brian Hughes, Stephanie, and Agent Palmer. Even you, Ed. How about that?
Oh, thanks.
I'll even thank you.
Aw.
Now I don't want to anymore.
Oh.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to slap you around later for some reason. I don't even need a reason, but I'm gonna do it.
Again?
Well, last time you deserved it. Now I just liked it doing it the first time so much that I want to do it again.
This is how abusive relationships start, people.
This is how it goes. So tune into us next week. Ed, where can people find you?
I am on Twitter at Edward O'Hare, TBD.
And Bob, where can they find you?
At Bob WTPC.
You can find me on Wicked Theory at Wicked Theory. You can find the show at wickedtheory.com. I didn't slip it in, but we're also doing a podcast called Preacher vs. Preacher. We're giving away a copy of Absolute Preacher, the big hardcover, super oversized edition. Check out our next episode, El Valero, because that's the name of the TV show's episode. That's the name of our podcast episode, and where we will give all the full details and announcements on how you can win that book for free. Damn it! And who doesn't like free? You just gotta be able to. You just gotta be willing to listen. Just listen.
Just listen.
Just listen. All right, Brother Bob, take us the fuck out of here.
I'm kind of lost right at the moment. Like, what should I play? So I'm kind of like trying to get to it.
Trying to find a feel.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Whatever you got, as long as you end big.
Yeah.